Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to World War II In Depth. In today's episode, I'm going to be reviewing the ever so popular FG42 assault rifle, and I'm not even going to attempt to say its proper German name. It's on the screen. You can try to read it if you want to. I know that I will butcher it. This was initially my favorite gun in the entire game. I even made a video on launch day saying that it would probably be the best gun in the entire game, and while we learned that that title is ultimately falling upon the bar, Sledgehammer still decided to nerf the gun, and it has fallen somewhat in my opinion, but it still remains quite good. One of the best things about it is its damage, and that is 40 up close, but decreasing down to 30 at a distance, which means it will kill between 3 and 4 shots, depending on how close you are to the enemy, and headshots don't make any difference in shots to kill, because like all of the other assault rifles, the headshot multiplier is only 1.1x. Running high caliber is nice, you can get 2-shot kills with headshots, but unfortunately without that, I would not bother with headshots at all, as they won't help you kill people. The biggest, most important, best thing about the FG42, the number one take home from this whole episode, is that it has the best 3-shot kill range in the game of a fully automatic assault rifle. That 3-shot kill range is 38 meters. It is an enormous, extremely long-range 3-shot kill weapon that more closely resembles a light machine gun. If you put advanced rifling on that, it's going to go up to 76 meters, which is a longer range than just about any engagement that I can fathom in this game. You're pretty much never fighting people at over 76 meters in Call of Duty. Call of Duty is just a smaller, closer quarters game, and if you're running advanced rifling, you should really never have to 4-shot people. There are other guns in the game that can 2-shot people, like the SVT-40 or the M1 Garand, and there's some light machine guns that can 3-shot people, and snipers and shotguns, but all of these come with big drawbacks. Big bulky light machine guns, sniper rifle scopes, semi-automatic, low rates of fire, something goofy, something uncomfortable, and the FG42 just doesn't have those. It's an assault rifle at the end of the day, and it's got some other properties which we'll talk about later that aren't so fantastic, but it doesn't have any of the massive drawbacks of any of the other 3 or 2-shot kill weapons. Rate of fire is 517 rounds per minute, and if I put rapid fire on it, it's going to go up to 555 rounds per minute. It's a tad slow for the assault rifle class. It's not the greatest, it's just a little bit below subpar, and it will definitely feel slower when you're playing it. When you're playing with the FG42, it's going to probably feel more like a light machine gun. Time to kill is average-ish for most ranges. It's not particularly fast or slow, and as a matter of fact, it's kind of the bearer of standards of time to kill. However, it does have a very nice medium-range sweet spot where it outperforms other assault rifles. It's a range at which the BAR is no longer able to 3-shot people, so it has to be doing 4. The M1941 is going to be kicking too much, so you won't get your shots on point. The STG just doesn't have the raw time to kill, and you'll be wanting to kind of like compete with this with an M1 Garand or something, but you have to be really accurate. Medium range is where this gun truly, truly shines, and it's not bad at long range either. Close, it's kind of on the struggle bus. Iron sights are kind of obstructive in my opinion. I don't like the shape of them. I don't like how much of the target they block. I dislike the vertical recoil being obstructive. I think that optics are by far the best for getting 3-shot kills, and since it shoots kind of slow, you don't want to be missing your shots. I prefer running the reflex sight on it, and I truly don't like the ACOG sight. It's surprisingly bad. The recoil is just a bit too heavy for me to control. The shake is just a bit too awkward. It's just very uncomfortable. So the reflex sight is just definitely the way to go on the FG42. Hip spread is unfortunately wider than other assault rifles. Sledgehammer recently nerfed the game to ensure this. I think it was because people were running steady aim and they were kind of using it as a 3-shot steady aim hose weapon and competing with the grease gun when it really shouldn't be doing that. But do keep in mind it's going to be more difficult to hip fire people than you would think. That doesn't stop me from going for it, because I know it's a 3-shot kill gun. You probably see me do it a few times here in the gameplay. I almost always recommend aiming down sights. Don't be newbie, don't be me, don't go for the hipfire kills. Recoil is now unfortunately moderate, but the problem with its moderate recoil is it's not at all consistent. I find it kind of annoying given that it was recently nerfed. It was originally almost a laser gun, very little recoil, extremely consistent. You could map people with it very quickly, which is why I made my video saying the FG42 was going to be the best gun in the game, because it was just super easy to hose people and it didn't kick. Now it does kick, and the kick is very difficult to master because it doesn't seem to have a good, consistent feel to it. And the recoil is by far the most difficult part of the FG42 now. It's still a fantastic weapon. It can still kill people quickly. It's still got great range. But when you miss a shot on a weapon like this that fires slowly, your time to kill is going up significantly. Other people are going to get shots on you. You're going to start flinching. It can be really brutal. So you really need to do something, even if it's just practice with it, to mitigate that recoil as much as possible. Speaking of which, the FG42 has the second most idle sway among assault rifles, and given the fact that you're going to want to be using it at long ranges, it can be kind of challenging to master. It's not the worst, the bar is the worst, but the FG42 does have enough to be troublesome. Another downside is that, like most of the assault rifles in this game, it only has a magazine size of 20. If you put extended mags on it, it becomes a normal magazine size of 30. So nothing amazing, nothing super special, nothing to write home about. It's, you know, if you're going to be able to 3-shot kill people, it's nice that you don't have to waste too much of your magazine, but I do find myself constantly reloading, and the reload time is slow. The reload time at which the bullets, you know, in Call of Duty magically reappear in the chamber and you can reload cancel is 2 seconds flat, which is very slow for an assault rifle. It's probably closer to a light machine gun. Of note, the animation does not match up with the true reload time very well. If you wait for the full animation, you'll be waiting closer to 3 seconds, so I do recommend the sprint or triangle triangle YY reload cancels. Extended mags are essential on this weapon. They just kind of are. Even if it only takes a few shots to kill people, the reload is slow, you don't have very many bullets, you never want to be out. I run extended mags all the time. It's the #1 most important attachment to have, and I think that this is a weapon that can be used with any division. It doesn't lend one way or the other. There's not a lot of wrong ways to use it. It's kind of like the STG-44 in that regard. It's sort of a Swiss Army knife of weapons with very few true weaknesses other than the recoil. However, I still like running infantry for the bayonet because it is weak up close. It just can't compete in raw time to kill with the absolute bullet hose SMGs or shotguns or anything like that, so I like being able to stab people and putting them down quickly. This gun is not what it used to be. My opinion of it is much less post-nerf. It used to be my go-to god gun because it felt very good to consistently 3-shot people at any range. Oh my god, just pop, 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 done. Pop, 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 done. Pop, 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 done. Now it doesn't do that. The recoil makes it difficult to control. It's not as good feeling overall with the hipfire and stuff as well, and I do feel that it has fallen down a tier with the bar. Even with the bar's reduced rate of fire, the bar is definitely now head and shoulders above this gun. If you're going to run this in pubs, I'm going to recommend primed, foregrip, extended mags, optics, and advanced rifling. We're just going to get guaranteed 3-shot kills with the advanced rifling. If I'm going to run it in competitive, I would probably run the exact same thing. And of note, I do believe that foregrip is important on this weapon. We don't have full foregrip stats yet. I know it's not the biggest or most impactful attachment, but the recoil is so bad you have to do something to it. You have to do something to help, and in my subjective experience, the foregrip does help mitigate some of the recoil. That's how I'd recommend using it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out. If you want all the weapon stats for World War II in your pocket to go, then look no further than the Ultimate Utility app by Brass Monkey. It's available on iOS and Android. There are links in the description, or you can just search for it in the App Store.